My beloved child. Listen carefully and do not rush past this moment, because what is unfolding around you was never meant to reach your eyes this early. Something hidden has surfaced, something whispered in private messages, something two people close to you believed would remain buried forever. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There are conversations that change everything once they are seen. Not because of what they say on the surface, but because of what they reveal underneath. These were not random words. These were calculated messages, sent in confidence, exchanged by two familiar names who assumed you would never connect the pattern. But tonight, the pattern is clear, and tomorrow is no longer ordinary. You may have felt it already. That quiet pressure. That strange heaviness when certain people speak to you. The sudden pauses. The forced kindness. The way plans are mentioned and then quickly dismissed. None of that was accidental. The leaked chats confirm what your intuition has been trying to tell you all along. This was planned. Slowly. Patiently. With smiles on the outside and intentions hidden behind screens. Do not skip, because the next moments matter more than you realize. These messages were not about a distant future. They were not vague ideas. They were specific. Timed. Focused on one thing that belongs to you. Something you value. Something they believe you are not watching closely enough. They talked about tomorrow as if it were already decided, as if you would simply accept what happens next without resistance or awareness. But awareness is power, and now you have it. What makes this even more unsettling is who these people are. Not strangers. Not outsiders. These are individuals who know your routines, your habits, your weaknesses, and your trust. They know when you lower your guard. They know which words calm you. And in those chats, they use that knowledge freely, almost casually, as if planning around your life was no different than scheduling a meeting. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. One message stood out among all the others. Short. Confident. Almost careless. It said tomorrow would be easy because you wouldn't suspect a thing. That single line should make you pause. Because it reveals how long they have been watching, how certain they were that you would remain unaware. They believed silence was their shield. They believed familiarity was their camouflage. But leaks do not happen by accident. Every message you were never meant to see carries energy. And this leak arrived now for a reason. Not later. Not after the damage. Before. Right when timing matters most. That alone should tell you that what is protecting you operates beyond coincidence. Do not skip. This is not just information. This is a warning wrapped in revelation. As you listen, notice how your perspective shifts. Think back to recent conversations. The subtle suggestions. The attempts to steer you away from certain decisions. The sudden interest in things that were once ignored. The chats confirm that these were not innocent curiosities. They were checkpoints. Tests. Ways to measure how close they were to moving forward. Tomorrow was supposed to be their moment. They discussed how quickly things would change once they arrived. How you would be caught off guard. How by the time you realized what was happening, it would already be in motion. These are not words spoken lightly. These are words chosen by people who believed they had control. But control dissolves the moment truth appears. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is not what they expect. Right now, you are ahead of the timeline they created. You are seeing the board before the next move is made. That alone alters the outcome. They planned based on the version of you who did not know. That version no longer exists. Stay with this message. Do not skip. Because what comes next will help you understand why this exposure happened now, why tomorrow still matters, and why their plan is already weaker than they realize. This is only the beginning of what the leaked chats reveal. My beloved child. A strange calm often appears right before hidden intentions are exposed, and if you are feeling that calm now, understand this clearly: it is not peace, it is awareness rising. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The leaked chats did more than reveal a plan. They revealed mindset. They showed how casually some people can talk about another person's life as if it were a movable object. One message spoke about timing, another about access, and another about how confident they were that you would not question anything. That confidence did not come from nowhere. It came from familiarity. From closeness. From moments where you trusted without verifying. Pause for a second and listen carefully, because this connects directly to real life. Most plans do not fail because they are bad. They fail because someone becomes aware at the exact right moment. That moment is now. The chats show that they underestimated one thing: your ability to sense when something is off. Even while smiling, even while speaking kindly, there was tension in their words. And in private, that tension turned into certainty. Do not skip. What you hear next changes how you see everything. They talked about approaching you as if it were routine. No fear. No doubt. One line mentioned that everything is already set. Another said that once tomorrow passes, things will finally shift. These are not casual phrases. These are conclusions made by people who believe the outcome is guaranteed. But guaranteed outcomes collapse when truth appears early. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is hidden inside what they did not say. In none of the messages did they question whether what they were doing was right. That silence speaks louder than any word. It tells you this was not an impulse. It was rehearsed. Thought through. Discussed more than once. And that realization should sharpen your focus, not your fear. Real life works this way more often than people admit. Plans are formed quietly, close to home, by those who understand your routines. That is why awareness always arrives as a shock. Not because danger is new, but because recognition finally is. Stay till the end. Do not skip. One message referenced how you always give the benefit of the doubt. Another mentioned that you are unlikely to react strongly. These are observations gathered over time. They studied your responses. They watched how you handled pressure. And they assumed you would remain the same tomorrow. That assumption is their mistake. Because knowledge changes posture. Knowledge changes choices. Knowledge changes outcomes. Something huge is waiting for you, and it begins with this understanding: tomorrow does not belong to those who planned in secret. It belongs to the one who sees clearly before action is taken. As this message continues, keep listening closely. What comes next will help you recognize the final signal before they move, and why their confidence is already unraveling even if they do not know it yet. My beloved child. There is a moment when awareness sharpens so suddenly that everything slows down, and if you are feeling that now, understand this carefully: you are standing at the edge of a revelation most people never see in time. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The leaked chats did not only expose what they planned to do. They exposed how they see you. One message described you as predictable. Another implied that you would stay quiet. That is not accidental language. That is profiling. That is someone deciding your future based on an outdated version of you. This happens in real life more often than anyone admits. People close to us sometimes build silent narratives about who we are. They assume we will always respond the same way. They assume we will never notice the shift in tone, the change in behavior, the sudden urgency disguised as concern. The chats confirm this is exactly what happened here. Do not skip. What you hear next is critical. There was a point in the messages where they discussed what to do if you asked questions. One suggested reassurance. Another suggested distraction. That should stop you in your tracks. Because it means they already anticipated resistance, but only at a surface level. They never planned for awareness. They planned for confusion. And confusion disappears when truth arrives. Something huge is waiting for you, and it lies in this realization: their entire plan depends on you staying exactly as you were yesterday. Tomorrow, they believe they will arrive with confidence. With calm voices. With rehearsed explanations. But what they do not know is that you are no longer listening the same way. You are no longer responding automatically. You are observing. Stay till the end. Do not skip. Another message revealed impatience. A subtle frustration that things had taken too long already. That line matters. It tells you pressure is building on their side, not yours. When people rush, they make mistakes. When people feel time slipping away, they reveal more than intended. And that is exactly why these chats surfaced now. In real life, exposure rarely happens after damage is done. It happens right before, when the balance can still be shifted. That is not coincidence. That is timing aligned with protection. Something huge is waiting for you. The most revealing part of the messages was not what they planned to take, but what they believed you would lose: leverage. They assumed you would feel cornered. Overwhelmed. Unsure. That assumption is already false. Because you are listening. You are present. And you are prepared. Do not skip. Stay with this. As tomorrow approaches, remember this clearly: plans built in secrecy collapse when one person gains clarity. You do not need confrontation. You do not need noise. Awareness alone changes the outcome. Keep listening, because what comes next will show you why their final move is closer than they think, and why you are already steps ahead without them realizing it yet. My beloved child, there is a final layer to this revelation, and it is the one they never imagined you would reach. This is the moment where everything aligns, where the leaked chats stop being words and start becoming truth in motion. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The last messages exchanged between them carried a tone that should not be ignored. Not excitement. Not fear. Assurance. The kind of assurance that only comes when people believe the path ahead is clear. They spoke as if tomorrow was already won, as if the outcome had been signed and sealed without your awareness. That belief is their blind spot. In real life, the most dangerous plans are not loud. They are quiet, polite, and wrapped in familiarity. They arrive with smiles. They arrive with reasons that sound reasonable. The chats reveal this clearly. They discussed how they would speak to you, which words would soften you, which topics would distract you, which pauses would make you doubt your own instincts. Pause here. Listen closely. This is why the exposure happened now and not later. Because once someone prepares the script for your reaction, the only thing that can stop them is you refusing to play the role they assigned you. Do not skip. What you are hearing is rare. One message mentioned that after tomorrow, things would settle permanently. That word matters. Permanently. It tells you this was not temporary interference. It was meant to change your position, your control, your standing. They were not testing the waters. They were stepping in fully. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is hidden in what they underestimated most. They underestimated timing. They underestimated awareness. They underestimated the fact that once truth surfaces, energy shifts instantly. Plans that looked solid begin to crack. Confidence turns into urgency. And urgency leads to exposure. If you notice subtle changes tomorrow, remember this message. If voices sound slightly rushed. If explanations come too quickly. If kindness feels forced. Those are not coincidences. Those are cracks. Stay till the end. Do not skip. The leaked chats end without one thing: certainty about you. They were certain about everything else, but not about how you would respond once you knew. That uncertainty is now working in your favor. They are moving forward while you are standing grounded in clarity. Real-life revelation does not always come with noise. Sometimes it comes quietly, through a screen, through words never meant for you. But once seen, they cannot be unseen. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is this understanding: tomorrow does not define you. Your awareness does. As this message closes, hold this truth firmly. The plan exposed is already weakened. The advantage has shifted. And what they believed was inevitable is now uncertain, fragile, and already unraveling. My beloved child. There is a point where truth stops whispering and starts standing directly in front of you, and this is that point. What you are sensing now is not imagination. It is alignment. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. After the last message was sent between them, there was silence. That silence is important. In real life, silence after planning is never peace. It is anticipation. It is the calm before action. They believed everything was already arranged, that nothing else was required except showing up tomorrow and executing what they discussed so confidently. But something shifted the moment those chats were revealed. What they never accounted for is the invisible reaction that happens when awareness enters the equation. Awareness does not announce itself. It does not confront immediately. It adjusts posture, timing, and perception. That is what you are doing right now, even if you do not fully realize it yet. Do not skip. This matters. In one of the final exchanges, there was a line that said, "Just act normal." That single sentence should tell you everything. When people need to remind each other to act normal, it means nothing about the situation is normal anymore. It means masks are prepared. Roles are rehearsed. Behavior is planned. And planned behavior always leaks tension. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is connected to how tomorrow will actually unfold versus how they expect it to unfold. They expect familiarity to work in their favor. They expect you to rely on past patterns. They expect you to trust tone over substance. But you are no longer listening for comfort. You are listening for alignment. And when words do not match energy, you will notice immediately. Stay till the end. Do not skip. This connects deeply to real life. Many people lose leverage not because they lack strength, but because they react instead of observe. The leaked chats give you the rare opportunity to observe first. To see intentions before actions. To recognize strategies before pressure is applied. That advantage is not loud, but it is decisive. Something huge is waiting for you. Tomorrow, when they arrive, they will believe they are early. In reality, they are late. Late to the realization that you already know. Late to the understanding that plans built on assumptions collapse when assumptions fail. Pay attention to pacing. Pay attention to how quickly they move the conversation. Pay attention to what they avoid explaining. These are not small details. These are signals. Do not skip. The truth is this: leaked chats do not appear to scare you. They appear to prepare you. And preparation changes outcomes without confrontation. Without chaos. Without exposure. As you hold this awareness, remember one thing clearly. The moment they believed was theirs has already shifted. The plan they trusted has already weakened. And the position they assumed you were in no longer exists. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is not what they planned for at all. My beloved child. There is a quiet shift that happens when truth settles fully into place, and this is that shift. What you understand now is deeper than information. It is positioning. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The most revealing detail in the leaked chats was not the plan itself, but the timing they believed they controlled. They spoke as if tomorrow was fixed, as if events move only in straight lines. That belief is common in real life, and it is often wrong. Timing is never owned by those who plan in secrecy. It responds to awareness. When awareness arrives, momentum changes direction. Do not skip. Listen carefully. They assumed you would be emotionally unprepared. They assumed surprise would weaken you. That assumption shaped everything they wrote. But leaked chats reverse surprise. They transfer it. Now, the unexpected belongs to them, not you. Something huge is waiting for you. One line in the conversation revealed something subtle but powerful. They mentioned that once they show up, things would naturally go their way. That word, naturally, shows how deeply they underestimated conscious choice. Nothing unfolds naturally when someone is fully present. Presence disrupts scripts. In real life, people who rely on momentum panic when momentum slows. Stay till the end. Do not skip. Tomorrow, when words are spoken, you will hear layers others miss. You will notice when explanations arrive before questions. You will notice when reassurance is offered too quickly. These are not accidents. These are signs of internal urgency leaking outward. The chats prove they rehearsed what to say. They did not rehearse how to adapt. Something huge is waiting for you, and it appears in moments like silence. If they rush to fill it, notice. If they redirect, notice. If they repeat phrases, notice. Awareness turns ordinary conversation into clarity. Do not skip. This situation reflects a truth many people learn too late: plans formed in private rarely survive daylight. They rely on predictability, and predictability disappears when one person steps out of expectation. You have already stepped out. The chats end with confidence, but confidence without flexibility is fragile. They believe tomorrow is the conclusion. In reality, it is the exposure of their miscalculation. Something huge is waiting for you. Hold this perspective firmly. You do not need to act dramatically. You do not need to reveal what you know. Knowing is enough. Seeing is enough. Presence is enough. Because when someone believes they are in control and discovers they are not, the entire structure they built begins to collapse quietly, from the inside out. My beloved child. There comes a stage where clarity no longer feels intense, it feels calm, and that calm is the strongest position you can occupy. This is that stage. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. When people believe their plan is invisible, they stop guarding their behavior. That is when the smallest details become the loudest signals. The leaked chats show this clearly. They stopped questioning. They stopped adjusting. They assumed the path ahead would unfold exactly as imagined. That assumption is now working against them. In real life, overconfidence is the final weakness before exposure. Do not skip. Listen carefully. They believe tomorrow is about arrival. In truth, tomorrow is about observation. Every plan depends on one fragile element, your reaction. They expected uncertainty. They expected hesitation. They expected emotional noise. But awareness removes noise. And silence with awareness is unsettling to those who rely on control. Something huge is waiting for you. There is a psychological shift that happens when someone realizes they are no longer steering the moment. It appears as impatience, as subtle irritation, as an urge to speed things up. If you notice this, understand it clearly. It means the internal script is failing. Stay till the end. Do not skip. The chats reveal they were relying on alignment between you and your past responses. They did not plan for growth. They did not plan for insight. They did not plan for the fact that people evolve quietly and then act decisively. That is a real-life truth most overlook. Something huge is waiting for you, and it shows itself when expectations clash with reality. Tomorrow, they may speak with certainty, but listen for inconsistency. They may present confidence, but watch for repetition. They may offer explanations before you ask. These are not coincidences. These are pressure responses. Do not skip. The advantage you now hold is not aggression. It is timing. You are moving at the pace of clarity, while they are moving at the pace of urgency. Those two speeds never align. And when they don't, mistakes surface naturally. The leaked chats were meant to stay hidden because hidden plans require ignorance to survive. Awareness is not an obstacle they prepared for. Something huge is waiting for you. As this message continues, remember this: you do not need to expose them for the plan to weaken. You do not need confrontation for control to shift. The moment you stopped being predictable, the plan began to unravel. And they still believe tomorrow belongs to them. My beloved child. There is a final compression of truth that happens right before outcomes change, and you are inside that compression now. Everything you have heard so far has been preparation for this exact awareness. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The most dangerous belief revealed in the leaked chats is this: they believe proximity equals control. Because they are close to you, because they have access to your time, your space, your attention, they assumed influence was guaranteed. This belief is common in real life, and it is often the reason plans collapse at the last moment. Closeness without consent is fragile. Do not skip. Listen carefully. One message referenced how being there in person would seal everything. That phrase matters. It shows they believe physical presence overrides intuition. But intuition becomes sharper, not weaker, when awareness is activated. You will notice tone before content. Energy before explanation. Intention before words. Something huge is waiting for you. In real situations, people reveal the most when they think they are almost done. That is when guards drop. That is when urgency replaces strategy. The chats show they are already at that edge. Tomorrow is not just action for them, it is relief. and people seeking relief rush. Stay till the end. Do not skip. There is another subtle detail most would miss. They spoke about you as if you were a fixed point, not a moving one. They did not account for adaptability. They did not consider that awareness reshapes behavior instantly. This is where many real-life manipulations fail. They plan against a version of someone who no longer exists. That version of you is gone. Something huge is waiting for you, and it arrives through restraint. Restraint is powerful because it denies others the reaction they depend on. The chats show they are counting on cues from you to guide their next steps. Calm observation removes those cues. When feedback disappears, uncertainty grows on their side. Do not skip. Tomorrow, notice who leads the conversation and who rushes it. Notice who fills silence and who avoids specifics. These are not surface behaviors. These are pressure responses. The more pressure you see, the more you will understand how unstable the plan truly is. Real life teaches this quietly. The person who knows more speaks less. Something huge is waiting for you. As this message continues forward, hold on to this clarity. You are not waiting to see what happens. You are already shaping what happens by refusing to be predictable. The leaked chats gave you foresight, and foresight always beats force. They believe tomorrow is the moment they take something from you. In reality, tomorrow is the moment they realize they never had control at all. My beloved child. There is a moment when everything becomes unmistakably clear, not loud, not dramatic, but undeniable. This is that moment. What you are holding now is not fear, it is leverage. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The final truth hidden inside the leaked chats is not about what they want from you, but why they need tomorrow so badly. One line revealed urgency disguised as confidence. Another hinted that delays would ruin everything. That single idea exposes weakness. Strong positions do not fear time. Fragile plans do. This is how real life works. When people rush, it means something behind the scenes is collapsing. Pressure creates urgency, and urgency creates exposure. They are not moving because they are powerful. They are moving because waiting would cost them. Do not skip. This matters more than you think. They believe tomorrow forces a conclusion. In reality, tomorrow exposes alignment. If their words, tone, and behavior do not align perfectly, the illusion breaks. And illusions only survive when everyone agrees to play along. You are no longer agreeing. Something huge is waiting for you. The chats show they relied on one final assumption, that once things begin, you will feel it is too late to question anything. This is a common real-life manipulation. Momentum is used as pressure. Speed is used as control. But momentum only works when awareness is absent. Awareness stops momentum instantly. Stay till the end. Do not skip. You may notice tomorrow that decisions are framed as urgent. That choices are presented as already made. That options seem limited. These are not facts. These are techniques. And now that you recognize them, they lose power. This is the quiet advantage few people ever get. Something huge is waiting for you, and it appears the moment you refuse to be rushed. The leaked chats were meant to guarantee certainty. Instead, they delivered foresight. And foresight changes the entire balance without confrontation, without noise, without exposure. If tomorrow feels intense, remember this: intensity often belongs to those who are losing control, not those who hold it. Do not skip. As this message reaches its edge, hold one final truth firmly. Plans built on secrecy cannot survive awareness. Confidence built on assumptions cannot survive clarity. And proximity cannot override intuition. They believed tomorrow was the end of the story. In truth, tomorrow is the moment their certainty dissolves. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is not what they planned at all. My beloved child. This is the closing moment, the point where everything that was hidden finally loses its grip. What began as whispers in private chats now stands fully exposed, not to create fear, but to restore balance. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Tomorrow arrives, and with it, the weight of their expectations. They step forward believing the path is still theirs, believing nothing truly changed. But the greatest shift already happened quietly, inside you. Awareness has replaced uncertainty. Presence has replaced reaction. And that alone ends the story they wrote without your consent. This is how real endings work. Not with confrontation. Not with chaos. But with clarity so firm that manipulation finds nowhere to land. They may still come. They may still speak. They may still attempt to move things forward. But the plan they trusted no longer exists in its original form. It depended on blindness. It depended on speed. It depended on your silence being confusion instead of strength. That dependence is gone. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is the realization that nothing can be taken from someone who is fully aware. As tomorrow unfolds, you will notice how quickly certainty drains from those who expected control. You will feel how the pressure shifts away from you and settles on them instead. That is not coincidence. That is the natural outcome when truth enters the room first. Do not skip this understanding. The leaked chats did their job. They revealed intention before action. They gave foresight instead of regret. They arrived not to alarm you, but to position you correctly at the exact moment it mattered. And now, the story closes where it should. Not with loss. Not with fear. But with clarity. What they planned in secret has already failed in silence. What they expected tomorrow to be has already changed today. And what they believed they were coming for remains fully protected. This is where it ends.